Today on Reading with MiMi, I thought I would try something new. In honor of Halloween, I was in our Halloween decoration box and I came across these books from our library that were some of Drew and Shelby's favorites when they were little kids. So even though you don't have this book in your house necessarily, I'm going to read the story today and I'll show you the pictures and you can listen along. I hope you enjoy. Today's story is Franklin's Halloween. Franklin could count by twos and tie his shoes. He knew the days of the week, the months of the year, the holidays in every season, and today was October 31st. It was Halloween. Franklin could hardly wait for tonight's costume party. Everyone would be there. What do you think Franklin's going to dress up as? He's got lots of choices, huh? Franklin and his friends had talked about the party for weeks. There would be games and prizes and even a parade. And best of all, there would be a haunted house. I think there'll be bats and spiders, said Franklin. And skeletons, added Beaver. Rabbit shivered. My sister said she saw a real ghost in there last year. Don't be silly, Rabbit, said Beaver. There's no real ghosts. All of Franklin's friends were excited because of the costume contest. Franklin wasn't sure what he was going to wear. He tried on everything in his dress-up trunk, but nothing seemed quite right. So we have a party guy, we have a detective, we have a king, and I'm not sure what that last guy is. Beaver and Goose were keeping their costumes secret. Try to find us at the party, they giggled. Fox was also being mysterious about what he was going to be. Look for someone gruesome, he said. That gave Franklin an idea. He could be something creepy. It took Franklin more than an hour to make his costume, and as soon as he was done, he sneaked up behind his father and tapped him on the shoulder. Trick or treat, said Franklin. Ah! Grasped his father. Who are you? So what do you think Franklin dressed up as? What do you think? Maybe we'll find out on the next page. In his deepest, spookiest voice, Franklin said, "It's me, Franklinstein." Oh, that's funny. It's perfect. He's already green. On the way to the town, Franklin tried to guess who was inside of each costume. At least we don't have to worry about finding Bear, said Franklin. He's always a ghost. By the time Franklin and his parents had arrived, the party had started. Franklin spotted a ghost who was bobbing apples and hurried towards him. Hello, Bear, Franklin said. Ooh, answered the ghost. That's good, Bear, said Franklin. You sound really scary. Franklin bobbed for an apple, and then he ran to the pumpkin toss. It was his favorite game because he always won a treat. There's some pretty cool costumes. There was only one more thing. Oh, wait, missed a page. Missed a page, missed a page. Franklin's bag was almost full by the time the judges announced the costume contest. While everybody lined up for the parade, Franklin tried to find more of his friends. He thought he recognized Beaver and Goose, but where was Fox? They marched around the building twice. Franklin made horrible monster sounds and shuffled with stiff, straight legs. and he won a prize for being the best green monster. The only thing left to do was to go into the haunted house. You first, said Beaver, pushing Franklin towards the door. It creaked open, and a skeleton rattled, chains clanged, there were moans, and Franklin stepped on something crunchy. Suddenly, a big, hairy hand reached out in the darkness. Franklin's heart beat hard and fast, and before he could scream, a light flicked on. Trick or treat, said Mr. Mole. Franklin looked around nervously, then he laughed. The hairy hand was only Mr. Mole's mop. Here's a treat for braving the haunted house, said Mr. Mole. A ghost came before you. He got so scared he flew away. But bear can't fly, said Franklin. It wasn't a bear, explained Mr. Mole. Bear is homesick with a nasty cold. Franklin shuddered. If Bear wasn't the ghost, then who was? He ran back to his friends who were all waiting in line to go into the haunted house. Was it scary? Asked Fox. You look like you've seen a ghost. Maybe I did, said Franklin. He told them what Mr. Mole had said. You mean that Bear was never here? He said. Franklin shook his head. And then the ghost flew over them. It swooped low and called out, "Hoo!" Rabbit twitched. So what is white, says hoo, and flies? A real ghost, said Goose. Run! I don't know. I don't think it's ghost. I don't think it's a ghost. Who do you guys think it is? Franklin was about to follow when he saw a feather floating down. Stop, he shouted. I think I know who the ghost is. Franklin showed them the feather. Look, it must be Mr. Owl. Even Rabbit giggled when he realized the trick the teacher had played. By the end of the party, everybody's bag was full. Poor Bear, said Raccoon. No treats for him. We could share our treats with Bear, suggested Franklin. All the friends agreed, and they each put some treats in the bag, and then they walked to Bear's house and left the bag on the doorstep. Trick or treat, they called. I'm sorry, trick and treat, they called. That and part is very important. On the way home, Franklin looked into his treat bag. Goodness, said Mother, you have enough in there to last until next Halloween. Maybe, said Franklin, sampling a few, but secretly he hoped his treats would last until at least the end of the week. Well, that is another Halloween book with MiMi. I hope you enjoyed Franklin's Halloween. Be sure to check out the other special Halloween books that will be on my YouTube page, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.